Alright, this is advice from a soon-to-be 21-year-old. God damn, I'm chopped in a... Oh, hell nah. I feel the age coming in. Oh, but yeah, if you're a teenager or if you're a 20-year-old, listen up and listen well, because I'm about to tell you some advice that might change your life, alright? Now, I'm gonna start off with number one. This is actually crucial that you listen to this, because I've seen this happen twice, and it never ended well. Whatever you do not date an older woman. Okay? Because I've seen it. It never ends well. I'm gonna spare you the details, but especially if you're young, you're gonna get played. You're gonna get manipulated hard, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it doesn't matter how smart you think you are. You just can't. As soon as you get attached, it's over, alright? I've seen this happen to two guys, right? One of them ended up emotionally broken and distraught. And the other guy, well, let's just say he ended up in hella debt. Yeah, technically that's not even the worst of it. There's a lot more details I could give y'all. But it's not really none of my business to tell, so... Yeah, just know, it's not worth it, and it's gonna be a daily humiliation ritual, alright? Okay? Now, and for advice number two. You know how people often say, don't scroll, it's bad for you. You end up doom scrolling and you get nothing done. And yeah, hella people that are in the productivity niche will tell you this, and you know, they'll tell you that you have to stop scrolling altogether. Now, here's where I personally disagree with this statement. You can have some scrolling, but not too much, alright? Because if you stop cold turkey, let's be real, you're gonna come back eventually. But having a little bit of scrolling a day, you know, it's not that big of a problem. The problem is when you're scrolling and how you're doing it. Let's say you have an assignment due on the day you wake up. There are two ways you could go about this. Scroll in the morning and, you know, maybe you'll get your assignment done later. Or get your assignment done first and then scroll when you have free time. Guess which one is more effective? Because this is just my theory, you know, this is my brain talking. I'm not really a scientist, but I feel like if you do the easy stuff first, the harder stuff gets harder later. As well as, let's say this assignment, you don't really know how to do it that well and you're kind of anxious about it. But scrolling gives you comfort, you know, it makes you all nice and comfortable. So what are you gonna do to avoid being uncomfortable and doing that assignment? That's right, you're gonna keep scrolling. You're gonna keep scrolling because you don't want to get uncomfortable and you don't want to do that assignment. And that's no good, because that's how you end up doing things last minute and almost failing the courses, alright? That's no good, alright? Be sure to do things that you don't want to do before you scroll. And also, this also applies for like going to sleep. So, because some people, me included, get bored when we try to go to sleep, and you know we kind of need our phones to like entertain ourselves. But that just makes you sleep hella late. So go to sleep first. You can scroll again another day. The videos ain't going anywhere. All right, that's advice number two. Now, advice number three is don't get overly attached to one person. All right. Now, this goes for relationships and friendships. Let's say you're in high school right now. You think your best friends right now are gonna be your best friends for life. I'm gonna burst your bubble real quick. Unless they're a very special, very rare type of friends, and you're gonna stop talking to each other once you graduate. Because everybody has to go through their own path, their own ways, you know, different colleges. Maybe you don't even go to college, you go to trade school or something. And little by little, y'all are gonna hang out less and less. Now, you might be thinking, no, Panini, my friends are different. Who knows, maybe they are, maybe they aren't, you know. But I will tell you this, out of all the advice I'm giving you, from personal experience, I have made this mistake like more times than any other mistake I've ever made. A total of 5 times in my life, actually, believe it or not. I never learned. 5. Essentially, it doesn't matter how badly you want somebody in your life. They have their own lives too, and you know, it is what it is. Sometimes feelings aren't reciprocated, you know. They might go someplace more interesting, meet new people that click with them better. And you might find yourself, you know, kind of chasing a ghost, if you will. You know, you realize that you don't really click with this person as much as you used to, and as somebody who made the mistake 5 times and tried everything in the book every single time, it doesn't matter what you do. If life gets in the way and the other person doesn't really want to be with you that much, you could act aloof, you could chase them, you could act indifferent, you could do whatever. It's over. Like, it's generally over. But yeah, this might be a tricky one, because sometimes y'all make promises together, you know, like, oh, 20 years from now when we're married, we're gonna go to each other's weddings and stuff, and you know, you check 2 years later and you all barely talk at all. You know, this could be like really hurtful and kind of a tough pill to swallow, but it really is just life, you know? Don't take nothing personally and just move on with your day. So yeah, now, number 3, advice number 3. Don't get attached to a person and don't get attached to a particular outcome. If you get attached to a particular outcome, you're gonna ignore everything around you that might be better or might lead you to a better place. And you're gonna be stuck doing something that, you know, you just got attached to. For example, I used to have an obsession with wanting to make money with art. I thought since I invested so much time and so much effort and so much, you know, everything, I thought that I should at least make money with art. Now you might be thinking, Panini, that sounds totally reasonable. But you see, the problem is, I never really had a passion for art. I learned it because it was something tough and I like doing hard things. But if you made me draw every day like as a profession or do something like that, I would be miserable. The only thing that kept me like going was like, I guess, pride and fear of ditching something that I spent so much time working on. And you know, that's no good. I could have spent that time doing something else, doing something I loved, doing something more productive. But no, I wasted like 3 years of like drawing pointlessly. This also has to do with perfectionism. If you have something you want to do, but you have to do it a certain way or else you won't do it at all, let it go, man. Just let it go. If you want to do the thing, just do it however it comes out, bro. You can make it better later. Just do the thing, you know? You either do it or you don't. Stop trying to, you know, get attached to a particular outcome. Oh no, I won't make a video unless it's absolutely perfect, unless the editing's flawless, unless my voice sounds like Mr. Beast. Like, no, just do it. You're wasting your time. Just go out there and do it. All right, what number am I on? 5? I'm just gonna say 5 for now. Number 5 is don't take anything personally. Like, I know if you're an overthinker, I know I kind of am. You might think, I pick up on certain things and I come to conclusions that might be valid. And sure, you might be right, but even if you're right, you're gonna be miserable. For example, if you think, oh, this person says yes to hanging out with this person, but they don't say yes to hanging out with me, that must mean that I am not worth their time. You see how that conclusion can become something negative in your head? So instead, don't take it personally, just you do you, you know? Some people have trouble taking rejection from like, I don't know, girls and stuff. And you know, every rejection might feel like a personal attack, you know, they might feel like really wounded, like mentally and like in their heart and stuff. But if you don't take it personally, you know, all of a sudden a bunch of opportunities show up and you know, you could do more. The less you care, the more you can do. Remember that. If you're afraid, or if you take everything too personally, or you know, you think everything's a personal attack, you're gonna be able to do a lot less. You know, you're gonna be overthinking things. You're gonna be sucking more because you're gonna be in your own head. So, and you're gonna have less of a good time. All right, number 6. Let's see here. This might be within a caveat, but lie to yourself. Lie to yourself. I used to always be obsessed with the truth, you know, like, oh, I have to tell the truth no matter what. But a white lie every now and then doesn't hurt, especially if it's for your own benefit. For example, I've seen some ugly ass dudes. Ugly! Like Beauty and the Beast level ugly. But they got a beauty by their side. And you ask them how they did it, and they're like, well, I just never thought I couldn't. You know, like, they think they're so attractive and so great, even when they aren't. And you low-key gotta lie to yourself too. If you're somebody that doesn't have a lot of confidence, you gotta lie to yourself and say, I got this. I am that guy. Like, I also seen people who break up and they're always talking about some, well, she don't know what she's missing out on. She's the one losing out on me. I'm the prize. And I used to think it was so pathetic. You know, I used to think like, wow, holy cope. But no, they're low-key got something. They're cooking, bro. That's the type of mentality you need to have when you like do things in life. Just lie to yourself, think you're fine, think you're cool, and you know, you'll make it out. But then a caveat, of course. You don't gotta be like super egotistical, because that's also not good, or think you're better than others, but it's just that. Even if you don't think you got it, you gotta lie to yourself and think you got it, if it makes sense. Let's see here, 7. 7 is to do things you're afraid of. Like if there's something you want to do, but you're afraid of doing it, give yourself 5 seconds. If you don't, you gotta do it within 5 seconds, and go. Because even if you don't got a plan, even if you think you're gonna fail, like for example, let's say asking out a girl, and you know you might think she's out of your league, but you want to talk to her, just go up and talk to her. Like even if you fail, it doesn't really matter. It's not that big. It's not the end of the world. If you want to ride a big roller coaster that terrifies you, it's not the end of the world. You know, you might puke your guts out and you might come out a crying mess, but you're not gonna die. You know, as far as I know. So why not just do things that scare you? Yeah. Number 8. Do not be afraid of doing things alone. Especially, this ties in with number 7, but if you want to go somewhere, if you want to do something, and you have the means to do it, even if you have no friends to do it with, you should do it anyways. You shouldn't rely on friends to go somewhere if you want to do it. I mean, sure, it might be a lot more fun with friends and like, you know, and yeah, it's a lot more comforting to be with friends and try something new. But if you don't got the luxury of having friendships that want to do whatever you want to do, just do it yourself. Who cares? You might even find somebody new that's into the same stuff you're in if you go to like, I'd say a marathon or to go skiing or something, you know? So yeah, don't be afraid to try things alone. Within reason, by the way. Don't do anything dangerous or, you know. Let's see, number 9. Let's see here, number 9. Number 9 is something that I learned quite recently. Being happy and being content and being excited and everything is a skill. It's a skill you polish, as well as being sad for the most part. If you're used to having everything framed in a negative way and thinking, nah, she's only smiling at me because I look goofy. Nah. Something good happened today, but something bad is gonna happen tomorrow. Or something even worse is gonna happen because something good happened today. Or nothing ever good happens to me. Or I have such terrible luck. If something good happened, that means something bad or even worse is coming later. You know, that type of mentality only makes you sad. It only makes you mad, and it only makes you bitter. And what do you do to remedy this? Have a more positive outlook. You might think it's corny. You might think it's lame. You might think it's copium. You might think it's unrealistic or whatever. But just do it. Your mindset will change. Your mindset will change if you practice it hard enough. Because you might be so used to having negative thoughts in your head that you don't even recognize them. That's just reality to you. But you're just having, like, as equally as distorted as having an overly positive view in the world, having a negative view on the world is also bad. Like, it's not real life. It's just in your head. You're just making yourself miserable for no reason. And also, sometimes misery might feel comforting. And it might even feel good at a certain point, because you know you might think, oh, there's nothing I can do. This is just the reality I live in. Everything's just terrible. But that's just kind of being a big baby, you know. Like, dare to have some hope. Dare to be happy. Try it. I mean, sure, there's people with depression. That's like a whole different story. But for the average people out there, try being happy. Be grateful for the things you have. Try to enjoy things you're doing, even if it's just going out on a walk with your dog. This is very important. Like, you know, it's generally something I learned. Like, it's a skill. It's generally a skill to be happy with whatever you're doing or whatever you have. Because you could be... there's a million ways... There's a million ways to complain about something. There's a million ways to be mad about something. But it's not good for you. Just learn to be happier. I don't know if it makes sense. Like, if kids and babies can be happy doing anything, then maybe you're the one with the attitude problem. You know what I mean? And finally, number 10 is to not be a slave to your own emotions. No, I'm not telling you to be like very stoic or whatever. But being too emotional can bring a lot of bad things into your life. For example, going back to text that one ex that you know is a bad idea. Why do you do it? Logically, you know it won't work. Logically, you know it's not good for you. Logically, you know it would only hurt you more. But why do you do it? Because you're emotional. Your heart right here is telling you to do something dumb. Don't listen to it. I don't know what you can do to like counter that or like counter hard emotions. There's probably some sort of meditation or something. I haven't looked into it too much. But yeah, you should learn to keep your emotions in check. It could also be bad for if you're like overly nervous or like overly anxious. It might cause you to perform worse in certain things or like trying something new. And yeah, if you're overly emotional while studying, you can forget about learning anything. You're not gonna think about anything other than the thing you're thinking about. So Yeah, that's another thing. Boredom. A lot of people are afraid to be bored. They don't like being bored. And they'll do anything to not be bored. There are three emotions people avoid the most: cringe, um, uncomfortableness, and boredom. And you just gotta learn to confront them and, like, deal with them. Cause you can't exactly have fun without being cringe every once in a while. And if you're always avoiding boredom, I feel like that could only end up in something bad. But yeah, those are some advice I have. Like and subscribe. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, leave it down in the comments below. Bye.